it it was really hard. Hi everyone, so I'm currently in my second week of quarantine. Today is, what day is it? I actually don't even really know. I think it's Wednesday. I'm leaving quarantine on Saturday. So I thought I'd speak about how my quarantine experience is in my second week. And yeah, before I get into that, I was actually hoping to make a lot more videos during quarantines. I thought, I have so much time, so I can just make videos every day. It sounded like a dream, but then yeah, things didn't go as planned. So the internet situation here, the internet is not bad, but it's not great either. I haven't been able to get my videos from my phone to my laptop. So I tried to use the cable, but it just keeps disconnecting, so I can't get them across that way. I tried to use an app that shares it wirelessly, but the weird Wi-Fi doesn't make it work. So then what I ended up doing was uploading everything to Google Drive and then downloading it from Google Drive. But it took me around 4 days or something. I've been trying the other things beforehand and it just wasn't working. And then I ended up trying this, and then yesterday, I think very early in the morning, I decided to upload all the videos that I need for my vlog, and it spent the entire day uploading. Around midnight I checked and they were still uploading, just because I don't know what was going on. So I ended up cancelling it all, and then I uploaded them row by row, in the gallery, and I finally got them uploaded in the afternoon today. And then I have them downloading right now, and they've been it says approximately it's 4 hours, so I think they're almost done. But I've downloaded them around lunchtime, and it's now it's like an hour from dinner time now, so they're taking a while. Yeah, so hopefully I can get that vlog edited today or tomorrow, and then have a video out before I leave quarantine. Yeah, so that's been really annoying. And not only the internet situation, personally, I've been going through a lot while in quarantine, and I'll get into more of that throughout this video. So in my previous vlog, hopefully I edited in, you can see what my hotel room looks like. The hotel room is pretty nice. It's pretty comfortable. It's small for a space to be locked in for 2 weeks, but for a hotel room, it's a pretty good size. I've been in smaller hotel rooms, so if I was in the other kinds of hotel rooms I've been in the past, this would be much more of a struggle. But this size hotel room is not so bad for quarantine. Okay, I'll speak about the good things first before I get into the negative stuff, because there's a bit of both. So the good stuff is the food, the way the food works. You get 3 meals delivered every day. Morning, lunch, and breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And basically they'll knock on your door, and if there's a knock, it just means that food is here. And then you're supposed to pick it up you have to have a delay. You don't just go to the door immediately, because you need to give them time to get away from the door. And then once you open it, make sure you have to have a mask on every time you open the door, and then you bring in your food. You're not allowed to actually ever leave the room, and you're only supposed to open the door when you hear a knock. Yeah, although there have been a couple times where I've been able to open it because I need to take out my trash. So they provide me a roll of trash bags, so I just put the trash outside the door. Basically, that's what taking it out is. Yeah, so the food just comes every day. They provide the menu usually the day, usually when you receive dinner, it will come with the next day's menu, and it's not menu where you can choose. It's just menu telling you what you're going to be receiving. Some days the food's really, really good, and it has a really good balance of foods. I like the ones where it's a lot of meat and a salad, or meat and potatoes, just something I like it when it's balanced with the it has a good balance of carbs, proteins, and vegetables. That's how I like to have my meals. I feel very uncomfortable when it's too much on one side. Yeah, so some days are really good, some days are not so good. There was the day when we had carbonara pasta for lunch. I'm not really a carbonara person, just because it just feels really heavy to me, and then it's just all carbs and fats and stuff. I'm not the most healthy, nutritious person ever, but I do like to take care of I do like to balance my nutrition when I eat. So having something like a carbonara which is just fats and carbs, it feels really heavy in my stomach, and it just makes me really I don't feel very good when I eat like that. But at the same time, like, I'm not complaining, because like the quality of the food here is pretty good. Portions are not too bad. I'd say for the most part we're actually getting more food than we actually need. I don't know about other people's. I guess like it is a good compromise. You don't have to eat everything. I tend to because they give you a lot of like sides. They always give me like a bread roll and butter, and at dinner we always get like a slice of cake. Yeah, so we always get something like that. And breakfast we always get like either like a tub of yogurt or a tub of oatmeal or muesli, like that kind of stuff. And there's always like the side stuff, except for the bread roll. I love eating the bread rolls with my meal, especially while it's still hot. Apart from that, like always the sides, I always put it in the fridge or like leave it to the side and just have it later. In the mornings we receive fruit and juice as well, and I keep those in the fridge too, because it's like the meal is enough for me. I don't want to like overeat, so I try to just save those just in case I get hungry between meals or something like that. Or if it just happens to be a meal where it's like there has been like a couple meals where it just wasn't enough food, or I just wasn't feeling it as much, or there was just like things I didn't like I really can't eat tomatoes and olives, and today's salad was just like tomato and olive. So I didn't really eat that. So if I did get hungry just because I didn't eat that one portion, that one part of the meal, I have some extra stuff in the fridge that I've been saving from other meals. I'm also able to order food in, but I haven't needed to. The food has been enough. Like most of the time, if I'm like really hungry between meals, it's usually like an hour before mealtime. I can wait an hour, that's not too bad. Okay, I went on about the food for quite a while. Okay, so one of my favorite things is they provide a lot of really useful services to people in quarantine. One of my favorite services is they provide quarantine counseling, and it's just like mental health counseling for people who are in quarantine. And I've been I have like a phone call quarantine mental health session like every 3 days or something, and they told me that they're helping me to connect to like counseling outside of quarantine as well, but they said like I can still call them after I'm done with quarantine, and I just let them know that I was in quarantine, and then I can just keep speaking to them. So that makes me really I'm really excited about that. Before though, I just want to say, like, I do agree with the reasoning why we have to quarantine. I don't disagree with the fact that I have to quarantine. I totally get it. I have nothing against it. But as much as I'm cool with it, there are things that that pretty much all of us have to go through, and that I'm going through specifically as well. And like I probably will still be going through these things even if I didn't go through quarantine. But quarantine is just kind of like an unfortunate thing that I have to go through that's kind of making it worse, because I'm trapped in a room alone for 2 weeks. So some of the negatives. I mean, apart from the obvious that you're trapped in a room alone, the show in quarantine has a standard cost of $3,000. That's gonna be really tough for me because I moved across the world. I spent so much money moving here. Because of COVID, my move costed so much more than it normally should have. And not only that, I don't have my main support in my life, which is my father, anymore. So I really need every bit of money that I have just because of that. And also I'm still dealing with I'm still dealing with the aftermath of my father's will and stuff like that, and that's also going to be a bit costly, because I'm going to be getting like the legal help and stuff, which is not cheap. So the price is not very good. I'm going to be trying to get exempt from it just because I have I think what I have is considered an emergency situation, but if not, I'm gonna have to pay this, which is gonna suck. One of the main things that I wanted to speak about is the mental impact this has been having on me. I have been struggling a lot. This is why I haven't been able to be as creative as I wanted to be. I haven't been able to like really work on videos. I haven't been drawing. I haven't been doing all the stuff that like makes me happy. It's just because I just don't feel the energy right now. I feel really dead inside. I mean, like, people say that as a joke, or like they say it to be like edgy and stuff, but I've been feeling it like recently. There's a lot of things that have been contributing to it. Yeah, I think one thing is like the fact that I can't choose my meals here. you know, first world problem. I can deal with this when I leave, but I still don't like the way it's happened. It's like, so one thing is because of the kind of foods I've been eating here, the amount of food that's being served, I found that I've been gaining quite a bit of weight while in quarantine. Some days like the food's really healthy. Like today it's been pretty good. I think today for lunch all I had was like chicken, some like roasted chicken breast with like it was like a tomato sauce and some potatoes, and that was pretty good. But there's days where we just have like a lot of noodles or a lot of pasta, and it's like I can't really choose to not have it as well, because if I don't eat it then like I don't have any food until my next meal. And I can skip breakfast, but other meals are really hard for me to skip, because I usually skip breakfast, but I don't skip the other two, so it's gonna be pretty hard. The other thing is that because we're just in a really small room, you don't use that much energy, so at night I don't get tired. And I told my counselor about this, and she said that like most people in quarantine have the same complaint, that they can't sleep at night because they just don't use enough energy during the day to get tired. So I find myself like I'll find myself like getting tired around like 12, like around midnight, but I can't fall asleep until like 3 or 4 a.m. and that's happening to me like every night. So what I'm planning to do like on my first day once I get back is like, of course, like settle in and everything, but I'm gonna try to go for like a very short jog, because I feel like my energy levels and my stamina and all that kind of stuff has gone down a lot since I haven't really moved for 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go for like maybe just like a 20-minute jog or something, just to like burn something, because I haven't usually, you know, even just walking to the supermarket and going shopping is enough energy to like burn for a day, minimum. But like I can't, like the only energy I'm burning is like walking to the bathroom, and the bathroom's like 2 meters away. And this kind of relates to my next issue. So I'm dealing with so much right now. I'm really depressed after leaving Korea. Korea was a big part of my life. I was very like settled in there. I had like a set life. I had like a set group of friends. I knew where everything was. Everything, like I was very independent. Like everything was just like set and just like there for me, and everything was just so comfortable. And I left everything. And every time I speak to my friends back in Korea online, it just feels sad that I can't see them anymore. And there's so many things about this thing that's making me really sad. But I just get really sad. And there's sometimes like late at night when I'm trying to fall asleep, I find myself like thinking about, like reminiscing about memories in Korea, like my first year there, my third year, like some of those days. Like one of the things that I reminisce about the most is basically in like all the places I've lived, I have memories of days where, especially I think it's usually on a Saturday, where I had no plans, I had nothing to do, and it was just like a nice like warm sunny day, and I had nothing to do, no one to meet. I just went for a walk outside because I didn't want to sit inside all day, so I just went for a walk, looked around the neighborhood, just went to whatever place looked good to eat, and then just went home at the end after going for like an hour walk or something. And it's just like that walk, just seeing my neighborhood, and then coming home, just chilling at home. And usually I always had a view, and just having a view of like the city that I'm living in, and it's like I miss that feeling. I mean, I might have that in Australia too, but it's different because it's like I'm here and I can always be here, but I'm not gonna be back in Korea again. I mean, I might in the future, but not like the way that I was. It's gonna be different. So that like, it's really this like empty feeling. I feel really like empty right now, and that's something that's really, yeah, it makes it hard for me to sleep sometimes. But then the other thing that makes it even worse, the reality of my father being gone is hitting me so hard right now. It's gonna hit even more once I leave quarantine and finally arrive back in Melbourne. But it's starting to hit already because my father was the person that I always went to for everything. Every time I had exciting news or like horrible news, I always like told him everything. And like my first instinct when I arrived in my quarantine hotel was like, oh, I gotta send pictures to my dad, and I can't. And there's so many times where I just wanted to like call him or like send him pictures or send him a message and just like tell him like what's going on, or like every time I get excited about something I want to tell him, and you know I can't anymore, and it's just like it really hurts. So at night I find myself like thinking about him and like my memories with him, and my memories of like my last time I saw him, which was when I visited Australia 2 years ago. And like that time, the time I remember the most, because like I saw him like every day there. I was staying at his place, but the time I remember the most is when he took me to this shopping center. That it was like the shopping center was like near where I used to live when I was still living in Australia, and there was nothing. It basically got like remodeled and it became like this like fancy new building, whatever. And he wanted to like, he just took me there just to show me everything, and he just like showed me around the shopping center, and there wasn't anything special. It was just like a new food court. This like the stores were all rearranged. There was some new stores in there, but like nothing was like that special there. But just like how we were doing something so mundane, and he was so like excited to like show me around. He took work leave, like he took like holiday leave. I don't know what it's called here, but he took like he took time off to just to do mundane things with me, and it felt really special. And like I always like think back on the times like that time when I came back to Australia 2 years ago, and he took 2 weeks off to spend time with me, and all we did was mundane things. We really didn't do anything special. He took me to all the things that like I wanted to do and see, and then he took me to some of his favorite places. And yeah, I just think about it. And like 2 nights ago I had a mental breakdown around like 3 a.m. or something. It was really hard. Like I couldn't go to sleep until like 7 a.m. because of this. My head was just like flooding with like thoughts and memories of my father and Korea and my friends and you know, these kind of things. And I just like I was just in bed trying to sleep, and then just suddenly I like burst into tears and I couldn't control it, and I was just like non-stop crying for like an hour until like 4 a.m. or something. And then I wanted to like, I couldn't call my counselor because they're like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then there is a 24-hour hotline, but they're gonna but I checked the cost to call them, and it's free if you call them by mobile. But I don't have a mobile phone number yet. I don't have a SIM in Australia. I have to wait until I can like leave quarantine so I can get a SIM. And I can call them with the hotel phone, but I think it's gonna cost a lot, and I didn't want to like rack up charges when I'm gonna be paying a lot already. So I was like really nervous about it, and I wasn't sure if I should do it. So I was like thinking if I should like try to call one of my friends, but then it was really late, so I wasn't sure if there was anyone I could speak to at that time. So it was really hard. And then I ended up like turning on my computer, and there's this video I recorded of the final Zoom call I had with my father. It was with like my whole family. We had a meeting, and it was basically like, and I just got out of bed and just like watched the video like a couple times, and it was like, because I just really wanted to hear his voice again, and it was a really hard night, honestly. But yeah, this is one of the hardest aspects of quarantine for me, is just the fact that I'm alone in this room. I don't have anyone around me. I can't go outside. I can't really do any exercise other than just like, you know, stuff that I can do on the floor, and I can't even really get some air other than just opening the window and like sticking my head through the crack. It's, you know, it's honestly really hard, and it's making my brain feel very I don't know, it's making me feel very like void, like very like empty and very like flat and deflated. And yeah, this whole 2 weeks has been really a struggle because of that. I spend all day just distracting myself on the computer, like watching things, playing things, doing like whatever I can to just not be thinking about stuff. But then as soon as I turn everything off and go to bed, my mind just like floods with thoughts, and it's just so hard to handle and so hard to sleep. So I feel like, you know, quarantine itself, it's here for a good reason. I get it, and I agree with it. You know, and that's why I have like no issue with going through what I'm going through right now. I mean, I don't want to be going through what I'm going through, but I have to do it for the sake of quarantine. But it just could not have happened at a worse time, honestly, in my life, with all that I'm going through. And I think for most people, I feel like the mental aspect of quarantine is just the worst. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's hard, but I'm almost done. I'm gonna be leaving in like 3 days, so I've almost made it through. Yeah, I think like while I've been here, I've been trying to sort of stay offline a bit in terms of social media. I haven't really been on YouTube that much. I mean, I've been watching videos on so I have another YouTube account that I use for watching things, and then I have my one that I post stuff on. Yeah, I haven't been on this channel really, so I haven't been responding to comments or watching other people's videos. I've just been trying to keep my head like away from things and try to detox a little bit, but at the same time, like, it's tough. Anyway, I think I spoke for quite a while.